It's a pet peeve, is wet door handles. What's a wet door handle? Well, essentially a wet door handle, a wet door handle would be something when you walk out of a bathroom and right before you're about to walk out, you grab the door handle and it's just wet. I mean, maybe there's condensation on it too. I mean, like maybe dew or something, but that's what a wet door handle is. I mean, we could take this a step further and say, hey, lotion could be a little bit grosser too. I don't know what that face was right there, so I'm sorry. There could be a little bit more extreme options here. What could you imagine a wet door handle situations that would be worse than that? Could you imagine watching a scary movie and everybody's intense in the scene, and all of a sudden, right before that person opens the door, they feel the handle and it's wet? That would totally throw off the whole mood of the movie. Imagine, if you will, trying to walk into your parents' room and all of a sudden, right before you're about to bust in, you feel a little bit of something wet on the handle. I don't want to go in there. It's not for me. What is it? What if you were to walk into a midget's door? Does that even make sense? A stereo volume knob. You're having a great time. You go to adjust the volume and it's wet. A safe bank. You're depositing your money. Everything that you have. Everything that you've owned. Maybe not. I mean, everything you owned, your house would be in the bank then. I don't know. You're depending on that bank to have your stuff safe. And when you go to it, it's wet. But actually, if you think about it, anything wet could be considered kind of gross or disgusting if you were to start touching it. Do you want to go and play Wii bowling on my Wii Wet Mode? That Christmas gift that you got, you pick it up, it's full of dew and just nasty gross. I bet I know what's in there. I really don't know what's in there. Spoons or forks when you're trying to eat, and you go in and you pick one up and it's wet. That doesn't really end well, does it? Imagine picking up your cat and it's wet. He's gonna lay down and it's gonna get dripping all over my bed, and I don't know what it's from. A completely soaked couch. It's been a long day. You want to come home. You want to relax. You sit on your couch and blah, blah. Imagine meeting your grandma and she's wet. It didn't come across the right way now, did it? You love your grandma and you want to give her a hug and it's just completely filled right here. The next time you go to pick up your phone viewer, it's going to be wet, soaked. I didn't break your phone. I'm a technician, okay, so I know what to do in that part anyways. Some of you will totally agree with this, but gym machines are one of the worst things to come to that's completely wet. Normally you're supposed to dry them off when you're done or get a wet paper towel and clean it off, and that's not always the case. And you don't smell it. That's the worst part. You know what, maybe that's what it is. Out of everything listed, when you can smell it, that's when it gets like you understand. But when it's wet, and you don't smell anything, that's when it gets awkward because you have no clue what it is. I mean, yeah, sure, I suppose touching wet handle and you smell pee, that's gross, you immediately want to wash your hands. It's the mystery of it all. It's the absolute mystery of not knowing why what it is that you're touching is wet that kind of bugs us. What caused that nastiness to get there? I kind of want to make everything wet now just to I don't know, mess around with people and just see what happens if people start touching different things. I'm gonna make my camera wet. So that's all. That's it. Goodbye.